Greetings, Rebel pilots. A-Wing reporting in. Today we're back with X-Wing Alliance upgrade, and we are continuing the campaign with the Interlude missions. For this first of the two missions, we will be flying the Y-Wing into a few combat areas. Now, as I fly these two missions, I plan to demonstrate and talk quite a bit about my strategies for advanced energy settings, scanning and inspecting, and a few tactical tips and tricks. Now, a lot of what you will see me do with the ship settings is done quite automatically through macro settings that I've done in programs like Joystick Gremlin and with the Elgato Stream Deck configuration. I will not be diving into how I set these macros up, as I plan to get into that at a later time. For these videos, I simply want to demonstrate the concepts and focus on how they are implemented into my gameplay strategy. So with that said, I think it's about time that we got on our way and head to the mission.
Alright, Rookie, let's begin.
Don't call me Rookie.
Follow me to the first target area. Hey man, I was really sorry to hear about what happened to your family. But I'm glad you've decided to join the rebellion. Just remember, this isn't about revenge.
Oh, I think it is.
It's about fighting injustice and tyranny. We're gonna bring the Empire down, and put an end to tragedies like what happened to your family.
And we're off.
Space strike missions are among the most common assignments you'll receive as an Alliance starfighter pilot. The venerable Y-Wing and its more formidable successor, the B-Wing, are recognized as the preferred craft for deep space strike roles. The following exercise will assess your performance in a series of attacks against various targets. These mock combat situations are based on real events. They're designed to present increasingly difficult tactical problems. You are encouraged to repeat this exercise as often as possible. Try all of the available craft and armaments as you explore different tactics. You will follow your instructor on a series of offensive strikes against Imperial targets. The first target is the storage tanks at an Imperial Tabana gas processing facility. The facility is unprotected, but an attack will draw unwanted attention, so be quick. The next target will be an Imperial Carrack-class cruiser undergoing repairs at the Des Moines repair yard near Drake 4. This facility is protected by a number of laser batteries. An Imperial base is close enough to send reinforcements within minutes of your arrival, so don't dally. The final target is an Imperial convoy transiting near Sertapa. It is a large convoy with inadequate escorts, so you should be able to inflict substantial damage. You must destroy as much of the convoy as you can before the surviving vessels can escape into hyperspace. Return as soon as you are done.
The platform is dead ahead. Target the nearest objective, O key, and destroy it. Remember to return to the Defiance when you wish to rearm.
Now, as we start with this first area of the mission, we're just going to be destroying some containers. I want to talk a bit about craft management in X-Wing Alliance, and for some real-world comparisons. In general aviation, the common saying is that whatever happens, a pilot's first job is to fly the plane, keep the wings level, produce lift, navigate around obstacles and weather systems, that kind of thing. In combat aviation, and we see this in games like DCS, what is also discussed is a fighter's energy configuration, things like altitude, speed, turning radius, and a fighter's configuration can vary through the fight, and it'll be based on the type of fighter as well. And managing a fighter's energy is key to coming out alive. X-Wing Alliance has its own energy configuration and energy management, but it's not the same as aerodynamic, lift, gravity, stall speeds, that kind of thing. We're dealing with engine, shield, and weapon power systems, but the concept is the same as a modern day fighter in that we're managing a balance of different energy settings. Instead of altitude and speed, we're dealing with engine speed, firepower, and protection. And in my estimation, that is the order of priority. Speed gets you to your target faster and helps you outmaneuver the opponent. Then firepower lets you take him down faster, reducing the chances he'll get a shot on you. And protection from shields lets you take a few hits if your speed and firepower are just not enough.
You'll notice how well defended this target is. In a situation like this, you should use standoff tactics. Switch to warheads and target the cruiser's saw trap. Notice that depending on your angle of attack, your warheads may hit the repair yard instead of the target. In that case, try changing your angle of attack, or targeting a specific component of the cruiser, to which you have a clear line of fire. The other thing that you have to worry about is defensive fire that'll destroy your warheads. This may require you to dumbfire your warheads. That is, launching warheads without using your targeting system.
Which is what I'm going to do, and you'll see me do this a lot in different missions throughout the series. What you might have noticed just now is that before going to hyperspace, I set all of my energy settings on full recharge. This allows me to gain some energy while I'm in hyperspace, and is a general strategy that I utilize anytime where speed isn't a priority, whether I'm docking with a craft, picking up a cargo container, or I'm fighting a slow-moving fighter or other vessel.
Wow! Report on primary target.
To this end, I've created several macros that allow me to change between energy configurations at the touch of a button. It also involves some custom scripting that I do in Joystick Gremlin, and again, it's very involved. I'm not going to get into it in this video, but as you will see throughout the series, I'm constantly switching my energy profiles to take advantage of speed, weaponry, or shields as the situation calls for. The X-Wing series is notorious for having a very cumbersome switching system. You can only increase by one step and then you get to the top and it wraps around, and my macros and scripts allow me to avoid that clumsiness. That's all I'm going to discuss about energy settings in this video. I'm going to elaborate a little bit more in next week's video, where we fly the A-Wing into some dogfight missions against Imperial TIE fighters. So be sure to check out next week's video for more on that.
Perfect timing. The convoy is several minutes from its jump. Unfortunately, the convoy has escorts, so this'll be tough. I'll keep the escorts off your tail while you make your attacks.
Phrasing?
I just want to shift gears now that we're in this third combat area. We're doing some strike attacks on this convoy. Now, interesting thing I wanted to point out as a tip. I think these are called modular conveyors. There are a bunch of different containers connected to an engine drive system. If you take out one of the components, the entire thing shuts down. This is very useful in a few missions, one specific where you have to inspect a bunch of craft in an Imperial convoy. When you come across these, it can be challenging to inspect all of the containers. I'm just watching here. This is my strategy to fly through a container hangar. Sometimes it can take out a fighter that's following you. I didn't get a NAS pass, but I'm going to get another one. Yeah, when you get these to halt in that inspection mission, you can fly back later and target every container for inspection. Just make sure you inspect the one that you destroyed before you take it out. Flying through the container is something I like to do. If there's pursuing fighters, it throws them off your trail, or it can even get them to smash into the container, which I think happens here on this pass, if not the next one. Just a little trick I learned. And there he goes. So, two birds with one stone, finished off the fighter, finished off the container. So yeah, breaking these things up, it halts them. They don't go into hyperspace on you. You can swing back and do some precision scanning to inspect all the components.
Report on primary target. Their shields are out. Report on primary target. They've been destroyed.
Hey, keep your distance. You've demonstrated sufficient skill to fly strike missions. Congratulations. You only have to pass one more qualification. Very respectable. You've done a lot of damage.
Primary target update. Their shields are out.
I do have one final trick about scanning for inspections that I will show you after the mission's over, so stick around to the end. Now, as I've demonstrated with some advanced power management, it makes it much easier in a craft, especially like the Y-Wing, to outmaneuver and outrun more agile fighters and stick to the mission objectives instead of having all your energy settings sky high like they were in the hyperspace journey there. So that's it for this mission. I hope everybody enjoyed it and maybe learned a few things about the game. And we are going to return to Defiance. Thank you for coming along on this mission, and stick around for more after the credits.
Well done. You have proven competence in performing the deep space strike role and the proper employment of a variety of heavy warheads and countermeasure systems. You are now ready for the second part of the Starfighter qualification tests. Given the huge advantage in military strength the Galactic Empire possesses relative to the Rebel Alliance, our primary tactic is the hit and fade strike. There is simply too much to be defended, and despite the overwhelming size of the Imperial Starfleet, it cannot be everywhere all the time. Whatever is left undefended, we will attack.
So this is one of those modular conveyors I was talking about in the inspection mission down later in the campaign. And we've selected one component of it. This is a container. We're going to destroy it after inspecting it. That's really crucial, because if you don't inspect it first, destroying it will cause you to lose the mission. And once we swing back around, we'll see that the entire conveyor has halted, meaning it's not going to go into hyperspace. So it'll just sit there for the rest of the mission while you go and take on other tasks. So you can swing by and take out one container in each modular unit, inspect it first, and it'll just sit and wait for you. Now on to the good stuff. This little technique that I developed, it's a macro that causes you to scan every target in your general target list. What it does is it presses the T key 25 times in a row with a 1/100th of a second gap. And this will scan every vessel within the scanning radius of your craft, which will help clarify your enemy craft's list, showing you what kind of craft they are, who they're attacking, that kind of thing. And when you fly by a conveyor like this, it'll be long enough to actually inspect the containers as their target selected when you fly by them. It is critical to actually slow down, and I'll show this coming up. If you're going too fast, you're not likely to have the container targeted as you fly by it. So slowing down to maybe a third to half throttle will get each container scanned as you fly by. And you can use this technique in the cargo yards in the early prologue missions where you have to rebuild your database. So here I am at 1/3 power, and we're going to scan through, and it's going to pick them all up as we go. And that is it for what I wanted to show you. Please like this video, subscribe, and comment down below what you thought of all the tips. A-Wing signing out.
This is Aaron. Do yourself a favor and ease up. Things have been heating up.
A-Wing.
I'd back off if I were you.